What do you make of this Ramsdale being kind
3
of,
in a row?
I mean, crazy. Joy made this point last week about Kudicini when Czech came to Chelsea and how is anyone going to displace him? And then boom, it was obvious that was the reason Czech was brought in. Is it the same for you, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Leno's even commented on it now as well. Leno, who got not even eased out of it, almost kicked out of it by Arteta. He came out saying Ramsdale came in as soon as he played a couple games. The goalkeeping coach basically told him, yeah, you're not going to be here. And he was like, I want to stay and compete. And he was like, no, you're not needed. So is that maybe the same thing that's happening to Ramsdale?
It is the same thing because you saw how Arteta said, you know, I didn't have the strength to maybe change things at half time. What was it? He said at 70 minutes into a game he wanted to change his goalkeeper, and he said, why can't goalkeepers be rotated? I made the analogy to Brian earlier. That's like me splitting up with a girl and saying, I still really like you. We should still definitely talk. Oh, we meet up. Yeah. I've got no interest in it whatsoever. Like, you know what I mean? But I do think that he's eased him out there. He's very much eased him out and gone, I might rotate, and it's like, you ain't planning on rotating. I'd love to see Arteta have the bottle in this match at 70 minutes to go, Raya, you're off.
Do you know what? Honestly, with the decisions he's made, I wouldn't be surprised. But it goes back to a saying that Ferguson said, and he said he's always loved his defenders almost being European because they're just more cold. They're just more cold-hearted. Whereas the South Americans, they play so much on emotion. And despite Ramsdale being English, he's such an emotional goalkeeper. You see, even in you were saying it earlier, Craig, that he just lives for these moments. Yeah. But he doesn't want a guy that just lives for moments. He wants a cool, calm, collected head in goal, and that's what Raya brings you. Even with our defenders as well, that's kind of what they bring up.
Do you know who's like that the Everton goalkeeper, Pickford? He is so emotional, right? Like he's a Sunderland fan, right? He comes to Newcastle and we just ruin his life at St James's Park, and you can see how deeply it impacts his performance. And in goal, that's the last place I want emotion. No, I want a killer.
Spurs overlap. That's what you want, Brennan.
Inside shot over.
Ooh, first shot on goal. I like that. Set the tempo, lads. Set it. Udogie won his first battle with Saka as well.
He didn't win no battle. That's not about one. He didn't show him no weight.
Mate, I love being so emotionally invested. You start like celebrating corners.
Boys. Yeah, man. Set it up.
Did anyone hear Daniel Levy's comments about obviously the appointments of Conte and the appointments of Mourinho? And he had said that we tried the proven winners route, and obviously it just didn't work for us, sort of thing. And that's why he's so happy so far with Postecoglou, because it's just a different style of manager. And I actually think that it filters through to on the pitch, because obviously systematically these managers play different. But Spurs to watch as a neutral, if you can take away any alliance to your own club, Spurs to watch this season I think are looking a million times better than they've looked over the past 2-3 years.
The thing I find really interesting is when football clubs go, this didn't work, we need to try something that's completely different. And by that I mean managers who are like Conte and Mourinho, who are very similar, quite hard, quite defensive and quite negative, and can really bring the morale of a club down quite quickly if they're not getting their own way. So they go for the nice guy next time, and I think Ange really comes across that way.
He's charming,
and you can get a bounce back feeling from that. But is that permanent? You know, once the players get used to, all right, Santa's managing when now we all love him. How long will that stay? And the reason I bring that up for is, I think that there was a lot of that happened with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he took over. He was seen as a relief from Jose Mourinho. Thank God we got rid of that prat. And there was a surge in Manchester United. But after a while, when good guy Ole is just Ole, and you forget what an arsehole Jose is, like, are you still going to maintain those running levels? And what we've seen with Ole is that naturally came to an end. And what did they do? They went back for a guy who had the standard bearer, Ten Hag. Sometimes we will get a false reading from what's happening on the pitch based on how the players are feeling about a manager, rather than, and that will last sometimes a whole season. You can see a manager get unbelievable things out of players for a season, but to do it consistently over a long period of time, that's where we find out what managers are made of. And that's why I do give credit to Jurgen Klopp, Pep, and obviously Pep Guardiola. But I think what Ange is doing right now is great. I just don't know if it's going to last.
Don't let him cut on the left.
Yes! Saka!
Saka with
What
the goal.
the player! Romero,
it's an
what a
own goal.
finish!
It's got to be an own
Might
goal.
be an own
finish,
goal.
Romero.
Oh, and Saka does
And he
this.
did Madison.
my.
He did Madison
Hey, that's the
celebration.
World Cup winner, Romero, with a world-class finish. What a guy. I love him.
Why did Romero, man?
I love him. Hey, Romero, right back at you,
Hey, that was
mate.
cheeky from Saka, you know.
Spurs in.
Spurs on the
Surely
attack
going to
here.
score.
You've got
Score.
Goal! Oh! What is saved?
How is he saved that? How is he saved
Oh
that?
my God, Raya.
Pack your bags.
Yeah,
That was a hell of
yeah,
a
he's
save.
got-
Oh my God,
Ramsdale's
Ryan.
gone. Officially dropped now. Officially.
That was an insane save.
Mate,
What
oh
the
this
my
is
hell?
goodness.
these are the things, right? When you look at Ten Hag buying Onana and how that's going, and you look at what obviously Arteta has done in
Oh,
signing
my heart for
Raya.
that one.
This is where you're proven as a manager of do your transfers work? On.
Oh my goodness.
That was a good bit of play by Spurs, though.
Madison with another chance. Good crossing.
Let's go! Let's go!
mate.
It was coming, though.
It
Bro,
was coming.
It'd been coming about 3 times. So this has been well earned from Son.
I'll wait, VAR. I'm not doing anything until
It's in off the post. I've never seen you like this before, lad. This is fucking.
No, do you know what it is? It's an annoying one because it's such a good one for them going into the half.
He's got to score this, though.
And if you look at Son, he's between 3 different defenders and he still manages to get the touch on it. Oh, chance for Arsenal.
Handball.
That is on the shirt line.
That
is
go to
on-
VAR.
Yeah.
Shot back in.
I honestly think that could be given, you know.
Okay,
Because
we'll
it was on
find
the
out
shirt.
now on VAR.
It was
clear.
If it's Romero again, I'm going home. Seriously, this guy.
We're going to find out though this penalty now.
Surely,
it's a pen.
yeah.
He's given it.
Yeah.
But Romero, an own goal and a penalty. You've had a stinker, an absolute stinker.
Pressure's on, man.
Star boy right there. Slap it. Slap it. Come on.
Down the middle.
Ah!
2-1.
Oh, I love it. My guy, man. Oh my goodness. Real star boy right there, man.
What we've seen in the last goal is Spurs reacted well.
fuck
Will they do it again?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you're in.
2-1-2.
Spurs are in here.
Spurs.
Maddison.
2-1-2 with
Pass
Son.
on.
Madison and Son. Goal! Oh, and Spurs
Let's go.
responded.
Character.
Woo!
Character. And by the way,
Unreal.
all our goals have come from open play, good bits of passing. I'm just saying.
Stop
though.
it. That was good bits
I'm
of
just
passing.
saying. I'm just saying.
was
though.
good-
Yeah,
that was a good
wasn't.
ball- it was a good ball in by Madison.
It was. It
Stop
was.
it. He threaded
What was
it.
it?
He took it
threaded
off
it.
him on a 2v1 now.
All right, and yours was a pen and an own goal.
I hear you, but don't be telling me
And
good
you're at
bits
home.
of play.
It was.
Come
Right, what
on.
about the first goal? What about the first
I
goal?
thought missed that
first goal,
top ball. I would
all my
appreciate
goals
that,
there.
mate. That's 2v2.
In it.
Top ballers 1v1.
And it's all over.
That's it.
Good, really good game. That was one of my favourite games of the season in terms of drama, jeopardy, some really good bits of football. I think the key takeaway is Arsenal, as good as they are, they're not as clinical and as cutthroat as City, and Spurs. We were wondering what the underbelly was going to be like in terms of had they got the mettle to take the game to Arsenal. They did. They came back twice from going a goal down. You said that would be key, that you didn't think you'd win if you went a goal down. Not only did you do it, you did it twice, mate. This is a fucking hell of a step up from Spurs.
This is what I said before the game. I wasn't scared of this game. It was more, it's a test to see where we are. This is the kind of, we need to figure out where we are in this journey. It's very early. And I did call my prediction 2-2 before the game. I said it.
Well done, mate.
And it's come to fruition. But yeah, I thought we had enough to take it to Arsenal. The only thing I'll be a bit frustrated with was like around that 70th minute to 80th minute, there was like a 10 minutes where we were on top and they looked a bit leggy and we could have took advantage of that and we didn't. But, to come out of Emirates and not lose. And we're undefeated 6 games into the season
Mate,
still.
that's massive.
Yeah.
What you saying, Manel? It's not a bad result, but it's obviously not a great result.
No, it's definitely not a great result. I mean, it's not a great one. And against Spurs, you definitely want to win at home because when you go away to their ground, and especially based on the way they're playing, it's going to be a very, very tough game. I would never, from now, would I take a point right now at Spurs? No way, no way. I always believe we can go there and win. But ultimately, no, it's not a great result. Is that Arsenal at their best? No, I think that kind of sums up still where we are. The squad itself isn't complete. 2 of our left wingers are out. We've brought on Reece Nelson and we started Nketiah. For Arsenal right now in a derby game starting Nketiah, for me it kind of shows where we are. Declan Rice gets injured and then we bring on Jorginho.
He had a nightmare as well,
It
didn't
sums
he?
up what I was saying about the whole City thing. The reason why the Liverpool won that league that year, despite me thinking they're a better team than City, and they beat them most times they were going head to head during them 3-4 years. The reason they won it that 1 year was because they got no injuries. They got very lucky. Their whole 11 stayed fit. So you need a lot of luck to beat that City team of no one getting injured. Because with them, Guardiola's a genius.
Do you not think today you brought on players that made your team much
Jorginho.
worse? That starting 11, fair enough, is right up there in terms of quality, in terms of title challenging. But then the level below that, you're going.
But do you know what it is? It's
worrying.
the level. It's not just the level below that. It's the level below that. It just so happens to be that not only did our first choice left winger Martinelli get injured, our second choice winger Trossard got injured. So not only did Partey get injured, who's ultimately our first choice defensive midfielder before Rice came in, is Rice and Partey are now both injured. So both those roles is our first and second choice. It's not like we got a left back injury or a right back injury where Tomiyasu could now come in. It's getting injured in the same position twice. Whereas for City, it just doesn't affect them.
But this is going to happen now, right? We were talking about when I was talking earlier in the season about the Champions League impact. It's not about like playing games and players having to do it. It's about the injuries and how it affects your squads. Because ultimately, if it's muscular and you having all these muscular injuries, like that's what's going to cause it. It's the load.
10 minutes a fucking game we're all playing.
Even though in Champions League it's not.
But that's the thing, like when I'm looking now about squad depth and you say, I don't know if Liverpool have it, I'm like, I mean, it's not that different, is it really? It's not that different in terms of the squads.
I still do think Owen is stronger than them. If you look at our starting 11, once we have our starting 11, I mean, it's thumbs up whether you want to back Arsenal's 11 or not. But when you look at our bench, I believe our bench is better than theirs.